Cheers to Friday and to lifting spirits, a new partnership with Castle and Key. John Newton, Director of Sales, joins me this morning. And John, cheers to Friday as well.
Cheers to you, Angie. Really appreciate you having me on today.
We are so excited about the partnership, which has kicked off. And you're all about lifting people's spirits.
Absolutely. That's we're in a great industry in a great part of the country, and we really not only do we want to do things that support our local community, but we've got a couple cocktail suggestions coming up too that'll help get everybody through those last couple weeks of quarantine.
I love Fridays and thinking about a Friday happy hour is what differentiates between the rest of the week for so many of us because you lose track of days even still. But before we go into that, if someone hasn't had the opportunity to visit Castle and Key, it's a remarkable place. It's been noted, not just nationally, but internationally as well. And just, John, in a nutshell, what makes Castle and Key so special?
Castle and Key really is truly one of the most unique distilleries out there. And it's one of those places that you really have to visit to fully get the experience. Photos just don't do it justice. But to kind of set the scene a little bit, we are the historic E.H. Taylor Distillery, built down in Millville, Kentucky, right outside of Frankfurt, back in 1887. And Colonel Taylor designed this place to be a show place, to create spirits that he said were fit for royalty. And so he designed his distillery to look like a giant limestone castle. We have European style gardens and this incredible water source in the shape of a keyhole that Colonel Taylor said was the key to his bourbon and the key to his success.
Well, it is certainly a key place to visit in Kentucky, that's for sure. And when do you anticipate that the distillery will be open again with all of us knowing that, things change, if not hour by hour, but on a daily basis?
Yeah, absolutely, Angie. We are so excited to have people back out to site, but really our first priority is keeping our team members safe and keeping our guests safe. So we're hoping to reopen our doors on June 1st. Of course, in accordance with all the social distancing guidelines out there, but we are really kind of playing it minute by minute so that we can do everybody the service that they deserve and keep everyone safe.
Okay, well, how about keeping us entertained and lifting our spirits right now? What are you going to make for us this morning?
Absolutely. So I was thinking about this a little bit last night, and I wanted to come up with a cocktail that was light, fresh, seasonal, so a little bit springy, summery, and I'm going to be creating a key lime pie fizz using our new Castle and Key spring release gin.
Okay, that sounds absolutely delicious. I'm still have a little more to work today, but that'll be what I'm making tonight. So we'll let you get down to it.
Perfect. All right. So I'm going to start off by a little hand sanitizer. Got to make sure that we're using proper PPE. And let's go ahead and get into the cocktail. So I went ahead and I proportioned out all of my ingredients, but this actually really is a relatively simple cocktail, something that should be pretty easy to replicate at home. So I have our Castle and Key spring release gin, which is very citrus forward. I have lime juice, simple syrup, a little bit of salt because I like salinity in a cocktail. It kind of just pulls out the extra flavors. And then egg white or aquafaba to give it that kind of like creaminess and fizzy texture to it. And then I have some graham cracker over here that I'm going to use for the rim of the glass. So starting off for this cocktail are 2 ounces of the Castle and Key spring gin. I'm going to have 1 ounce of fresh squeezed lime juice, 1 ounce of simple syrup. To make simple syrup an incredibly easy process, you're going to do equal proportions of raw sugar and liquid, heat it up until your sugar dissolves. My little pinch of salt for salinity here. And then here's going to be our egg white or aquafaba if you get weirded out by egg white. aquafaba is the juice from garbanzo beans. So just pour a little bit of that. Really about an ounce and a half will be kind of the amount that you need. And so I'm going to, since this is a fizz, I'm going to go ahead and start off with a dry shake. So I'm starting all this off with no ice in the container. And this is just to kind of get that emulsification. Get everything shaken up, good and frothy. And now I'm going to go ahead and give it another shake with our ice cube. Go ahead and let that chill for just a second. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to prep the garnish on my glass, which key lime pie, you have to have your graham cracker crust. So I'm going to use actually a graham cracker rim. I'm just putting a little bit of simple syrup on the edge of my glass to make it stick. And then some crushed up graham cracker around the edge. There we go, looking good. One final shake here. Strainer. And we're going to go ahead and pour our cocktail. You can see how that egg white really starts to give it that nice, creamy, frothy texture. And you can either serve this just on its own in the glass or maybe float an extra ice cube. And so there you have the final product, the Castle and Key key lime pie gin fizz.
And cheers to you, John. That looks fantastic. Well, thank you so much. I'm excited about this partnership. By the way, for those of you at home, that hand sanitizer John used is made by and available for purchase from Castle and Key. Lifting Spirits with Castle and Key airs Monday through Friday during our 4 p.m. WHS 11 newscast. To learn more about the Frankfurt-based distillery, just visit castleandkey.com.